Hey, wonderful good morning to you, and we are live on the drive. Just dropped the girls off. They wanted to study, so they were supposed to study last night, but we got home a little late there. You have a swim coach that just decides he's just gonna keep them later than usual. Didn't warn anyone. He just kept them around, and my daughter Rahema, she has always been taught to ask questions and not be afraid to ask questions. None of the other kids spoke up, and she was finally like, hey, how long is practice? Partially because she doesn't want to swim, right? But anyway, it's just a lesson on being able to do things you're not excited about in life, right? Because that's what life is about. You got to do a lot of things that you may not want to do. But anyway, it's really and truly for us an opportunity for them to get some exercise. The girls just love staying inside, and this time and age we live in with all the devices, there's always something for them to sit and do, right? So PE that you would take in school, instead of doing that, we're doing swim. So again, great exercise, and just pushes them and toughens them up, right? But everybody knows swim is an excellent way to work out. But besides that, Rahema was like, hey, what's going on? So the coach just decided he was going to keep them. This guy has missed the mark on many occasions as far as just a way to do things. There's apps and things like that you can communicate with, and he's still emailing the crap out of people. When I say emailing, I mean, you know how it is. Especially, look, if you have 2 kids in school, it means you're getting emails from all their teachers, right? And so it's twice as much. So you cannot keep up with emails. Thank goodness for Jerry. She's able to keep up with the emails. So now, the only thing that I do or try to encourage them to do is to use the apps like we've done in a lot of other swim teams, right? And finally they're trying to get on board with it, but that's where all the notifications should be coming from, because it's easy. It just pops up in the app and you know it's there, and you're like, oh, okay, I got a notification, right? You don't have to go digging looking for an email. But these guys are very old school. They're gung-ho about swim, and that's great, but you can't just be so into it. You think you just keeping your kids. So they started, let me explain. They started swimming at 5. When they start swimming, from 5 to 5:30 is what they call dry land. They do swim exercises or exercises that would impact or strengthen your swim game. And with that, they go from 5:30 to 6:30 swimming. Now, the kids are in the water all this time, and then found out that they're going to be there till 8. So they had a half an hour workout, and then they're going to swim now from 5:30 to 8 p.m. He just said he's going to keep them. So once Rahema spoke up, he was like, hey, I need to ask my parents if I can do this, because she knows she has homework and all this other stuff to get done. And once she brought up the question, all the other kids are like, hey, I gotta ask my parents. And even though some of them want to swim, they know, right? They're like, oh, that's a long time. So anyway, the coach was just like, oh, you can leave. So you have to understand, these guys are gung-ho about swimming. They love swimming. It's their passion. Many of them competed at a high level. on, man, you just can't hold back with the kids like that. No note. I thought maybe I missed a notification, right? Like, yeah, we're gonna be going till 8 p.m. tonight, blah blah. No. Anyway, so the girls, we ended up getting home about 7:30. Threw their schedule off a little bit. By the time they're down showering up and making themselves ready. I mean, it was after 10 before they were done with homework and such. Then, of course, Nia has to still just hang around in her room, and I think she loves her room a lot. So usually I have to come before I tuck in. I gotta go to Nia's room and make sure that she is tucked in, that she shut off her lights and not playing around in her bedroom. Okay. So even though they were complaining about not being able to get home because of swim, and they didn't want to be up so late and blah blah blah, we are still hanging out after bedtime. So all the time she's claiming she needed to, not swim and be at home working. Garbage. Anyhow, they were studying in the car this morning. Well, Rahma got up early and studied. I don't know if Nia did, but Nia was studying in the car, so that's why I'm doing the live now and without them. So, what's on the agenda for today? Well, we gotta get back home and handle the animals. Honestly speaking, probably just letting out the chickens. Everybody should be well stocked up on feed and water. And of course, when you have animals, you always want to go check them out because, make sure their structure, their housing is secure, make sure it hasn't fallen down, they're not exposed. So that's about that. But the headliner for today is the arrival of my father-in-law. So later today I'll be heading to the airport, pick him up. He's coming. He's coming to spend some time with us before heading to Indiana. Spend some time with my brother-in-law. So that's it. So we haven't seen him in in more than 5 years. So it'll be good to see him. Good to have him here for a moment. Anything yet, so I'm just not necessarily making an assumption, but I'm just guessing that everything is going okay. So I gotta track his flight today, find out exactly what time they're coming in, and be there to scoop him up. Kenya and Guyana, throughout all the folks throughout the Caribbean, and of course those that are scattered further abroad, and wherever you may be. You guys have a great day. I've got a fat cup I got for my birthday. I'm a November baby, so just celebrated my 52nd. This cup was one of my gifts. The funny thing is I have several cups. None of them fit the hole in the car. So finally someone is, my wife, gotten a cup from a kid's school because I did some volunteering with them. And it disappeared. I'm not gonna say any names, but it disappeared. And my wife didn't take it. And the girls, of course, they didn't take it. So anyway, not a big deal. It is what it is. So this cup is full of chai. Milk tea, right? The only thing is missing is maybe some ginger, maybe some masala. This is what I drink in the mornings. Then I get back home, it's usually 9 or thereafter, and handle the animals and I eat. That would be a big deal. Other than that, what can I say? Life is good, man. Just here, enjoying it. Not let me tell you something. We've got a lot of plans, right? We all have a lot of plans. And you know, if you're constantly waiting on something to come up or to happen for you. For example, I want to do more with the property in Guyana, right? So let's say if I'm sitting here just like, oh man, I can't wait till I can do this. Oh man, I can't wait till oh, this is my goal. I want to do this. I want to do this. What happens? You find yourself kind of feeling unfulfilled, right? Because you're not getting to do what you want to do right now. So my advice, instead of feeling like that, right? Don't focus. This is emotionally we're talking about, on what you don't get to do. Focus on what you have right now. Just you know, you gotta be contented with where you are, right? Try to see yourself and imagine that this is it. What if what you've achieved thus far in life is all that you will ever achieve? Whatever you achieved in life is all you will ever achieve? Can you handle that? Can you deal with that? Can you accept that? You know, yeah, and it's just a way of being happy, guys. Just being able to accept that, you know, your life is your life, and what you got, that's it. You know, not trying to put too much pressure on yourself, because you will not feel fulfilled if you're always sitting there feeling like, oh, you can't get to do this thing. Stop worrying about what you can't get to do, okay? Think about where you are right now. Your health. Think about your freedom. Think about the things that you do have. What do you have? Are you sheltered? Are you living in a house? Maybe paying rent, mortgage, maybe staying for free, right? Well, That's what I like to refer to as winning. Yeah? You need to see your life, right, in that light. You have to understand when you're winning. Most people don't know when they're winning, right? So we become anxious about everything. Man, I can't wait till I can do this. Oh man, I can't. If just for today, guys, do yourself a favor, right? Recognize that you're winning. We live in a time we're exposed. We got all kinds of technology around us. You know, we can throw something in a microwave, boom, it's hot. Yeah, we're not spending our days, right, warming things up on the stove and washing pots by hands. We throw it in the dishwasher. Washing clothes by hands, we throw it in the washing machine. Yeah. You have all that time. Yeah. Even when you're gonna wash your clothes, you have the choice of what kind of soap to put in there. Right? There's tons that we have, and it's super important that you can, you can see that, yeah, you're winning, man. I tell people all the time, with just the mere fact that I'm in this country, yeah, I'm winning. But wherever you are, you are winning too, right? You are winning too. If you find yourself in a situation where you feel like people are always, oh man, you're taking care of everybody, right? And people are always begging for this, that, but guess what? You are winning because you're not the one begging. Huh? So our perspective is super important to your happiness. Our perspective is super important to your happiness. You have to be able to see that, to recognize that, and to I don't know, fall in love with that, right? You're just having the right perspective. And I have always worked. Do I get anxious sometimes? Yeah. Sometimes I sit down and I think, man, okay, Emma is this age or that age. In this so many years, she'll be driving. I'll be freed up from the kids. When I say freed up from the kids, I'm having to drive them to school, right? I hope I'm never freed up from my kids, but you understand what I'm saying. But yeah, man, this is gonna free me up. I'll be able to do this, I'll be able to do that. But you'll find that things will tie you up, right? Projects and stuff. As soon as you start one project, you'll realize that there's another one that you want to do. And you gotta be patient. And you have to accept what you do have, that, hey, you do have a project to work, and there's people that don't have a project to work, and there's people that don't have a vision at all. Yeah, they just live for the time and space they're in, that's it. There's a cop here. I love selling them out. 1 second. Let me know. I drive with my GPS, Google Maps on. And when I see the police officers, I tend to let people know that they're there in the app, so that people know to slow down. I mean, it keeps them from speeding too. And save them some money. Anyway, I'm sure the police appreciates the help. They could literally get on the app and do it themselves. I don't know why they don't do that most of the time. It would help people to drive slower. Anyway, especially if they notice people are, driving quite a bit above the speed limit. Alright, we'll get back to the subject. So, there's always going to be something that you can't do, and you need to accept that. And with accepting that, I think it'll give you a chance to just get more excited about like your present, right? And I guess that's what it's all about, right? Being present, right? Taking your circumstances and your situation. I mean, if you're not in anybody's jail right now, right? You're winning, huh? Maybe you're in jail, but maybe you have privileges that other people in the jail don't have. One thing for sure, you got food and shelter. Especially this cold weather. Oh my goodness, it might almost be better for anyone that is homeless, to be in there than to. Whew. You have plenty of company for sure. Anyway, hopefully you're not in that situation. You don't have to be that grateful. I'm not asking you to be like, a Superman or a Superwoman, right? But yeah, be present, guys. Be present. Be present. Be present. Because the past has passed. Look at this guy. Wow, proud of himself. Drove into the turning lane to get around me, passing on the right hand side. So in the US we drive on the right, so you're supposed to pass on. Anyway, I think before we lost the signal, I was saying this guy passed me on the right side, and in the US, we pass on the left. You always pass on the side that the steering wheel is on. That's assuming that where you live, you're driving a vehicle, right? That is suitable for that country's laws, meaning that, for example, vehicles in the US are left-hand drive, and we drive on the right side of the road, okay? Which means we pass on the left. So my new drivers pass on the left if you're driving a left-hand vehicle. I know some people would take home, vehicles of different drives. I don't know if there's any regulations on what drive vehicle you can have in Guyana. But I do believe some people have left-hand drive vehicles there. I almost feel like there should be some kind of restriction to stop that. We already have a problem with people not driving safely on the road, and granted it's a lot of young folks, but still it end up in the loss of life of older folks, right? This tea is still so hot. It's a great cup. Anyway, it's almost about half an hour since I've been on here. Again, the girls not on today because they were studying in the car. They wanted to distract them. So we get to see them tomorrow. Maybe I don't know how he'll feel if he'll still be rested. But when my father-in-law gets here, maybe he goes with us to this to school. Give him and I a chance to chat a bit. Maybe come along for the ride. Who knows? Sometimes when after a long trip, which is probably gonna take him at least maybe 20 hours, layovers and all. Sometimes you're worn out. Obviously where he's coming from, East Africa, that means your clock is going to be a bit thrown off. on about 8 hours time difference. So the thing is, sometimes what happens is you still have this adrenaline going from just being in a new place and the time and everything. So essentially, he'll be traveling to the past. So the time that when he gets here, he would have already experienced that time, either somewhere in the air in Kenya. He's essentially traveling to the past because of the time change. But anyway, if he is still excited and full of adrenaline, perhaps he might come for the ride. So you guys get to meet and see him on the drive. Other than that, I'm gonna drop this here. Guys, have a great day. Do something wonderful for yourself, for those around you, and be present. Recognize that you're winning. Okay? Recognize that you are winning. Have a great day. Talk at you tomorrow. Bye bye.